Hi, and welcome to this week's lecture on intimacy and communication. So let's start off by talking about what it takes to develop intimate relationships. First of all, we need the ability to both give and receive. That includes sharing ideas, feelings, time, and also needs. Having a self-concept and self-esteem is critical. That means the ability to separate yourself from others and accept yourself, being secure in your own individual identity. The roots of our identity and self are often developed during childhood. Relationships with our parents and other family members create our attachment style. John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth developed theories about 3 types of attachment. Secure attachment, which results in adults not being concerned with abandonment or intimacy. Anxious and avoidant attachment, which includes adults being uncomfortable with being close. Anxious ambivalent attachment, which results in adults being concerned that their partner may leave or abandon them. Friendship is one of the keys to successful relationships. Some of the characteristics of friendships include companionship, respect, acceptance, help, trust, loyalty, and reciprocity, which means both giving and receiving. Strong relationships are comprised of trust, caring, respect, loyalty, interest in others, and concern for others' well-being. Communication is a key to intimate relationships. Much communication is done non-verbally. It's important to have the ability to interpret non-verbal messages. Communication skills include self-disclosure, listening, and feedback as a constructive response. Studies have shown some differences in gender related to communication. Men may use communication to establish dominance or competitiveness. Men may talk more and listen less. Women may use communication to establish friendships, affiliate, seek advice, and often obtain cues from listening and eye contact. Conflict resolution is key in all relationships, and especially in maintaining intimate relationships. Here's 6 steps towards conflict resolution. First, clarify the issue. Find out what each person wants. Don't make assumptions. Brainstorm for options. Decide how to negotiate, solidify the agreements, review, and renegotiate as necessary. Remember, it's important to go into the conversation with some willingness to compromise. There may be a solution that is a win-win where compromise is not required, but it is important to be willing to consider all possibilities. Here are some challenges in relationships: honesty and openness, unequal or premature commitments, unrealistic expectations. This might include expecting your partner to change, making assumptions, or having unsupported beliefs. Competitiveness can hurt a relationship, balancing time together and apart, jealousy, and supportiveness. It's always important to recognize when you're in an unhealthy relationship. And whether the relationship is healthy or unhealthy, we all go through different types of breakups. Here are some guidelines for breakups. Give one another a fair chance. Be honest. Be tactful and be compassionate. If you are the person who is receiving rejection, make time for resolving your anger and pain. Remember that breakups can be very, very hard, and often you may need time to process the pain that you experience. Finally, recognize the value of the relationship and of the breakup experience itself. Regardless of whether or not the relationship continues, there are always opportunities for growth. Here in the United States, different cultures have different rituals for finding a mate. Generally speaking, in American culture, dating involves getting to know one another, choosing to date based on personal choice, and departure from traditional male and female dating roles. Living together, cohabitation, occurs in more than half of all men and women by the age of 30. 51% chance of marrying after 3 years occurs in most couples who cohabitate, and there are both advantages and liabilities. Gay, lesbian, transgender, queer, or intersex are all types of same-sex relationships. Sexual orientation involves the consistent attraction to someone either of the same sex, the opposite sex, or of both genders. Homosexual relationships have many commonalities with heterosexual relationships and may or may not follow traditional gender roles. Currently, there are many societal attitudes towards same-sex marriage, civil rights for same-sex partnerships, and homophobia. In the US today, those individuals who are single are a very diverse group. Some have never been married, some widowed, and some divorced. Approximately 116 million single individuals live in the United States, which is about half of the US population. The average age of marriage for men is 28.2 years and for women 26.1. There are some advantages to remaining single in regards to career and personal development. Most individuals in the US still engage in the marriage ritual. Some of the benefits of marriage include longer life expectancy, less likelihood of catching colds, and greater mental health. Some skills that are needed for marriage include having realistic expectations, feeling good about the personality of your mate, being able to communicate, being able to resolve conflict, discussing and valuing religious and ethical commonalities and differences, and having a good balance of individual and joint interests. Currently today, 50% of married women are in the workforce. Parenting and the family life cycle include providing a balance of firm limits and clear structure. It includes having high levels of warmth, nurturance, respect, and growth of independence for children. There are 4 identified parenting styles, which are different combinations of demandingness and responsiveness. So high demandingness and low responsiveness would be the authoritarian style. High demandingness and high responsiveness would be the authoritative style. Low demandingness and high responsiveness would be the permissive or indulgent style. Low demandingness and low responsiveness would be the uninvolved style. The book defines children's temperaments as easy, difficult, and slow to warm up. Each child is an individual. What's important to note here is that your parenting style should definitely take into account your own child's unique personality, skills, dislikes, likes, need for independence, and need for support. Separation and divorce are very high in the United States. 9% of men and 11% of women are currently divorced and unmarried. 50 to 55% of all marriages end in divorce. The process of divorce is difficult. It involves both emotional and physical separation. Divorce is considered to be the greatest stress-producing event next to the death of a spouse or family member. Divorce definitely has an effect on children, and some studies have noticed that many children do not experience the effect of divorce until they themselves decide to marry. The U.S. Census Bureau has noted that 27% of all children under 18 live with only one parent. 4% of children live in a home where neither parent is present, and 3 out of 4 divorced women and 4 out of 5 divorced men will remarry. This means that there are many single-parent and non-traditional families here in the United States. Regardless of if you are a traditional 2-parent, a single parent, or a blended family, successful families all involve commitment, appreciation, communication, time together, spiritual wellness, and coping and helping one another with stress and crisis. So regardless of where you're at in life currently, it's important to remember the value of having intimacy and close relationships. Have a great week, everyone.